Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman29. Thought I would come on and Madewell left a comment on Thoughts of Eden. Just asking for a conclusion to your essays. You've linked the elements together and showed the evolution of the concepts, but you've left us hanging. What's it all about? Are these elements to be seen as literal, cosmological, quasi-historical, merely cultic, psychological, or what? That's a great question. Sorry to leave you hanging. It's always great when somebody gets on me when I do half a job and drop the ball. I thought the video was getting kind of long, and so I cut it off. But oh well, this one here might be kind of long. I got thinking about it, and Madewell offered some suggestions on the term Aggadah, A-G-A-D-A-H, is a writing style of stories and lessons that was used in the Talmud and Mishnah to break up law codes and other ideas. And as I got thinking about it, this is probably known for ages, that such stories in the primeval history of Israeli, at least up to the law code, were these forms of stories, and we're set to trying to figure them out literally when they were multifunctional. They could functional at times as maybe lessons, and at times metaphors, at times cosmological, and they were meant to be multifunctional. So what's interesting is there was a rabbi, who stated, I'm not sure if it was in the Talmud or another writing, which said, I believe it was a commentary, where he said that everything that happened to the patriarchs happened to Israel. And you can see the allegory in the patriarchal themes to the history of Israel, mainly between Israel and Judah, the north and the south, and the conflicts, and also the repetition of going into Egypt and coming back out, and also the delays of obtaining the promise. So the patriarchal stories, in essence, are an epic or an allegory also, even though they're multifunctional, also of the actual history of Israel. And I got thinking about it, and I started thinking about all the stories. I mean, all the texts of the primeval stages that I discussed in Eden are clearly influenced by Egyptian and Babylonian mythology. The law codes are influenced by Hittite, Egyptian, and Babylonian mythology. Some Assyrian, and also the idea of sacrifice very much is found in the Vedas and the Indo-Iranian, known as the Aryans, influence, especially when they came into the region. They influenced the Assyrians very much, and there's documents found where they trained the Assyrians in how to train war horses and things, which also influenced the law codes and war codes, holy war codes, about Ahab, when he sent a whole division of cavalry. I say that wrong. Division of horsemen, riders, to fight in the Assyrian army, and so that's there. I just want to go over some of those texts that the law codes wanted to be. I have them written down here. The Lipit Ishtar Law Code, the Laws of Ishnana, Law Code of Hammurabi, the Middle Assyrian laws, the Hittite laws, the Neo-Babylonian laws. And also Numbers is written in treaty form in some ways. So the Egyptian and Hittite treaties would be a writing style. And also for the epics, Akkadian epics, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the creation epic from Akkadian ideas, visions of the netherworld, the myth of Zu, and all these. Also for the composition of legal documents, the Aramaic papyri of Elephantine, Middle Assyrian, Neo-Assyrian, Neo-Babylonian, Sumerian, New Sumerian, Old Assyrian, Old Babylon, documents from the practice of law, the Vizier of Egypt, results of a trial for a conspiracy. All these can be compared. There's a really great book. It's called Ancient Near Eastern Texts Relating to the Old Testament by James Pitchard. It's been very, very helpful at pulling out these types of comparisons. And so everybody's seen the text as multifunctional, but it seems that when put in the hands of literalists, things seem to go haywire, and things seem to not function as they should. You had rabbis elaborating extensively on these texts, especially law codes and things, and also adding to later. And one of the things that was really important is to show that they considered high quality from Moses lesser quality to nowadays. I'm not sure where it was written. Somebody maybe can post it, where it talked about if Moses was seen as angelic or being that close to God, then the prophets were sons of men. And if the prophets were sons of men, the rabbis said that we are now donkeys, or putting it bluntly, jackasses, at observing these sorts of things. And these types of allegories and stories were put with the Torah study, and actually after sometimes the readings, these types of things would be elaborated on and told as lessons, as stories of heroes and things. And one point I wanted to make was the reference to the motif of Sodom and Gomorrah, the story motif where the girl is, the maiden is raped, and then later she's divided into 12 pieces and sent because the tribe of Benjamin I'm not sure if her name, I don't think her name was Tamar. You can look it up in Judges. I'm not sure where that's found in Judges, but that story, I believe, is older than the reference to the angels in the city. The people in the city of Judges, where they want that girl, say the same thing as they do in Sodom and Gomorrah. So that storyline may have been used over in the text of Genesis where that occurs, which is a little bit later, because of all the Babylonian influence and ideas. I could be wrong on this. I'm just wading through the mess, not the mess, the beautiful literature, and trying to place things where they should be, so you can get a better meaning from that, from pulling apart and placing back together, and also in my mind and in my belief system, pulling apart and placing back together. And it's a fair and foul thing, and it takes a really brave person to do such a thing. So I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. Thanks, Madewell, for giving me a kick in the rear end with that. You've been most helpful, and as always, it's a great pleasure to have um, comments on the on my videos that are actually helpful. Recommend book recommendations and essays and things. So take care, YouTubers, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.